come this way.
Follow us.
Up to the rehearsal room.
Yeah.
And here's the rehearsal room.
This is the rehearsal room.
It's been the rehearsal room, I'm pretty sure, for the entire time the Old Vic has existed and this theatre has been here. So there's a lot of history here and there are a lot of pictures up in the green room, etc., with Olivier in here, and it's got a lot of history. So this is where we started our rehearsals, and for 6 weeks, really, this was our home.
Yeah. And it was very, very good fun. It was slightly, I think, intimidating for the first couple of weeks, just because we had to get over the existential crisis of performing Tom Stoppard's words in front of Tom Stoppard.
Tom Stoppard would sit here, if you can imagine that.
With some sweets.
With his sweets. He loves sweets, so we got on. What's great about rehearsing here is that you're rehearsing in the theatre, which isn't always the case. So you get to know everyone here, so you become part of the team, really.
The Old Vic, I guess, where it's situated, you know, it's unmissable. So I've always kind of eyed it with a certain amount of salivation, if you like, as a place I'd love to work in. It's so seeped in history, and so seeped in quality, and so seeped in a kind of mischief as well, which really appeals to me.
It's done 200 years of basically being one of the best theatres in London. That is an incredible run. And I think the sort of perfect counterpoint to that is that it's so now, it's so contemporary. Every bit of work that goes on here has some kind of resonance with what is going on today, whether that's literal or slightly more metaphorical, it's always there.
There certainly can't be many spaces in this country that have such a kind of diverse ambition, working under that roof with people in every kind of corridor, cupboard, office, you know, going full throttle to be able to create, you know, energetic and diverse and exciting work is absolutely exhilarating.
Okay, here we are.
This is backstage.
This is backstage at the Old Vic.
These are the wings, the very large wings.
So they've normally, I suppose,
you go on.
Oh, thanks. Normally, I suppose this would all be backstage as well, except for our show. They've let us take up all of that space, so that we, two already little people, look even littler in this enormous space.
Yeah, and they've also pushed the stage past the proscenium as well over here. So it would normally stop here at this lovely proscenium arch and where our iron is up there, but they've pushed it out into the auditorium and taken some seats out as well to allow that to happen.
And that's a ladder. That is also in the show.
I think we, in a way, get a really, the best view. Hopefully they enjoy watching this as well, but we get to see this. I think sitting up there makes you get a sense of the scale of it, but here I think it feels pretty intimate, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
The Old Vic provided me an extraordinary opportunity to develop my first full-length dance piece. I think the very fact that someone like the Old Vic programmed a full-length two-act, essentially ballet, was kind of utterly thrilling and really bold and really daring, and that kind of aspiration, ambition from the theatre was seen through right till opening night. Nothing was said no to. It was all about going further, being bolder, being braver, and continuing to be daring.
I think the programming at the Vic has been very eclectic, and I think the reason for that is to encourage new audiences to come through. So, you know, musicals might not be your thing, but you might like, you know, the traditional old revivals, or you might like, a dance number or whatever. So there's something for everyone.
I first got involved in Old Vic in 2013, and that was with the Old Vic Community Company, and they help out residents from all boroughs just to do with performing, backstage work, community shows. There's also something called the Frontline scheme, which I took part in as well, and that's to help out 16 to 20-year-olds in work experience, just getting to know how the front of house works, getting to know how the bar works, how a duty manager operates, and a supervisor. Once I did come into Old Vic, you know, my life did change, and I haven't left since. So I would say it's been a brilliant pleasure to be a part of it.
Great, now we're going into front of house.
This is where everyone will be arriving shortly to watch us do a play. This play, specifically.
Yeah. Or any play.
Or any play, we might do a different one, who knows?
Yeah. So this is box office area.
Yeah.
And there's the neon above the entrance, dare, always dare, which I believe was Lillian Bayliss. It's the kind of the motto of the place.
It's just one of those essential London theatres that exist to do interesting work and champion that. And that's, you know, I feel like that comes across in, you know, the ethos of everybody that works here is sort of that mindset, which is very exciting to be in the middle of.
Human nature is immutable. I think the Vic has a reputation which is equally immutable, not only because of its past, but what it's done in the recent past and now in the future. I mean, that idea of attracting to it people who would not automatically think of going to the theatre is vital, because there isn't going to be any theatre in the future if we don't create that wanting to go and letting people see that it can be a unique experience. I mean, it is extraordinary, is it not, that a group of strangers comes in, quite by chance sits down in the dark, and another group of strangers to them come on in the light. And somehow there is an energy that goes from the light to the dark, and that is reinforced and is sent back. And during an evening, hopefully, that kind of perfect circle is created. There's nowhere else like it in the world.